It's the Stand On It podcast. It's true.
Come and sit down, you gotta stand on it. If it's for certain, let's have around, you gotta stand on it. Open the curtain, it's going down, you gotta stand on it. Cause I put my stamp on it, so you gotta stand. You gotta stand on it. 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 You gotta stand.
Greetings, Earthlings. Hit you with that Outcast intro. Yo, what's good? It's Truth. Another episode of the Stand On It podcast. We're going to get right into it tonight because we got a couple of topics that we go through real quick. But you know how we get it kicked off with the icebreakers. I'm about to call my nephew up. We're going to run through a few of these things. Get him on the line.
Hello?
Nephew.
What's going on?
What going on with you, man?
Hey, another day, another dollar.
I hear you. Making sure you stacking plenty on my hope.
I'm trying to.
Hey, man, you understand on the podcast. I ain't going to keep you long. It's going to be about 2-3 minutes. We're going to run through some icebreakers real quick.
For sure.
Hey, so you done gave your homeboy a ride to the store. You sitting in the car, and the nigga just come out with a gun out and money in his hand. What you gonna do?
That's a good one, though, boy. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm the type of person, I'm not gonna be around a nigga that's ready to crash out anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it like that. If he ready to crash out, me and him gonna talk about it first, or I just ain't gonna be around him. But if he go do something like that, well, I don't even know. Well, he just running the store. He just as good as left, bro.
You gonna pull off on him?
I'm gonna skate off SRT style on him, bro. Burn him up in there.
Yeah, cause hey, he ain't care about you. They're trying to set you up for the okie doke.
Exactly. Now you got me out here looking. You know what I'm saying? You got me out here accessory to a crime, and I don't even know nothing about it. You just as good as left, bro.
Hell yeah. All right, so in the hip-hop culture, who you think the most hated is, Charleston White or Quando Rondo?
Oh, man. Eesh. I'm going to put it like this. In the social culture, social hip-hop culture, it'll be Charleston White.
Okay.
Because he plays a character that nobody likes, but he's really not that type of person.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you look at it from a street standpoint of view, it'll be Quando Rondo.
Okay.
Because everybody hate him because they say he switched up or whatever.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Me personally.
Overall, it's Charleston White.
Charleston White. All right. Me personally, I don't think neither one of them should be hated because in my eyes, neither one of them doing anything wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah,
right.
That's another convo. But all right, last one. You at the barber shop. You and your barber just talking. You ain't paying no attention. If this nigga do something to you that you didn't ask for, like after you realize your cut over with, this nigga done gave you the Larry Johnson part in the middle of your head. What the conversation?
Not the zipper head.
What the conversation gonna be like after you discover what he done did?
I'm going to put it like this. It ain't going to be too much talking after that, man.
Oh, you going to the hands?
We ain't even going to the hands. I'm going to his head like he went to mine, bro.
So you going to get the clippers and cut his hair?
I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to run it across him, bro.
But you going to pay him?
No, I'm not paying him nothing.
Right. What
you done gave me the Larry Johnson, bro?
What if he tell you, though, like, man, I think you could pull this off. That's why I gave it to you. We bringing this back.
Nah, we ain't gonna bring it back. And I mean, I can see if you ask me now, I'm still gonna say no. But you just came out the blue and gave me the Larry Johnson 1994 style. No, bro. No, bro. We about to either go outside or you gonna fix my head. One or two, but you ain't get paid either way.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to ask him outside, and he still ain't getting paid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we want to go outside, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, man, good hearing your voice, man. Take care of yourself. Keep running your bread up. Appreciate you damn running through the icebreakers with me, and I'm gonna be in touch with you.
You already know it.
All right, man.
For sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Yo, man, so that's the breakdown of the icebreakers. So, like I said, man, Charleston White, Quando Rondo, I don't personally think neither one of them did nothing wrong, because Charleston White just be talking that shit that people need to hear, but they don't want to hear it. And if you really break down what he's saying, he telling the truth. And as far as Quando Rondo go, bruh, if that would have been anybody else, if it wouldn't have been your beloved rapper or your icon that you look up to in the streets, they wouldn't have had no problems with what happened with that man. So, yeah, both of them wish nothing but success to both of those black men, Charleston White and Quando Rondo. So we gonna get right into this, man. Somebody told me last week, like, hey, I was listening to the episode, y'all was talking about black businesses, and you know, I agree with you, but you really didn't give them no takeaways on what to do. And I told them, apparently you didn't really listen to the episode, because I clearly said, if you go be open during your business hours, make sure you're there. Do good business. I gave you takeaways. But since they wanted to reopen a closed file, I'm going to add one more to it. If you're promoting, man, check for grammatical errors. I get so sick of that shit. I was reading a flyer somebody put up the other day about credit repair. I read the first 3 lines and counted 5 grammatical errors. Now, let me put this in perspective for you. You can't correct your grammatical errors. You don't know the difference between two, and two, there, and there. But I'm supposed to allow you to fix some credit if that's a service I needed. And I had started, because I halfway kind of know the person, so I had started to inbox them and tell them what to fix. But I'm like, you know what? No. Because, again, they didn't ask me to proofread it. This is just something I saw. And you already know how that go. When you give feedback to people that's constructive, that you trying to help them out, they go look at that like you hating. And so I'm like, you know what? If you want to look stupid and continuing to promote your business with all these grammatical errors, hey, so be it. And all I got to do is, guess what? Hit the unfollow button so I don't have to see it. And guess what I did? Hit the unfollow button so I don't have to see it. So those are some takeaways. Since I was giving the feedback, I didn't get no takeaways. Just to rehash, make sure you're going to be open when you say you open. Make sure you're doing quality business. And then make sure if you're promoting something that's in written form, make sure you're checking for grammatical errors. And even if it ain't in written form, if you're doing a commercial, vocalize it. Make sure you're speaking properly so that you can draw people in to do business with you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hop right into this thing. Go kick it off with a video. Give me a second here while I get this video queued up. And when y'all see what we talking about, you know, I don't really like to weigh in on topics that everybody else weighing in on. But I'm going to weigh in on this one because there's nobody weighing in from the perspective that I'm about to weigh in with. And when I break this perspective down to you, you'll be like, huh, I never really thought about that. But yeah, and I'm going to tell you the perspective from a personal level, and I'm going to compare it to something that was going on in my life. Here we go. First video.
We love our new home.
Great neighborhood.
Wait for it to load. But yeah, so we're going to break down the real perspective.
Pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Ja Morant from Murray State University.
It was a little over a year ago, I guess, that our draft guys said maybe Ja Morant was a fringe draft guy at all. Then he went to a summer camp, Chris Paul's camp, and then got in the mid-first round after a sensational season.
Now, when you're looking at this video, I want y'all to think about something. You see Ja here, got on a nice suit. You see he's starting his dreads. You don't see any visible tattoos, anything like that. So just pay attention to the video as the video go along.
Moved all the way up. He's a second overall pick. Mike Conley has been traded from the Memphis Grizzlies, spent his whole career there. The great Mike Conley, point guard, and now Ja Morant takes over in Memphis.
You see how he's smiling? Ain't no iced out grill in his mouth either. Keep paying attention.
Yeah, I think he's a wonderful prospect. And like you said, kind of came out of nowhere. I love those guys with chips on their shoulders, and he plays the game the right way, Jay. You know him a lot better than anybody.
Well, he's the best passer in the draft, Chauncey. He's got creativity, delivery with either hand. He's an ambidextrous passer, averaged 10 assists per game. That led the nation. He's also really creative. He doesn't just see angles, he creates angles.
All right, Ja, from being the guy that was forgotten and then discovered in an auxiliary gym to the number 2 overall pick in the draft, how does it feel?
It feels good to be able to accomplish my dream. How I got here is just crazy. I know it probably give a lot of people more confidence, and I'm just very excited.
What gave you...
Notice what he said. How I got here, it was crazy, and it probably gave more people a lot of confidence. So by saying that, whether he realized it or not, he's already inserting himself as a role model. Keep watching the video.
You the confidence to know that your game was big enough to belong on a stage like this?
It started with me. I feel like if you don't believe in yourself, then who will? And I had the right people around me, my family, coaches, always lift me up and push me to work harder and be the best player I can be.
All right, now notice what he said. I had the right people around me, family, and people around me to push me harder to be better than what I possibly could have been. Keep watching the video.
Speaking of the family, we've got Dad T here with you, and I know that the backyard...
Now, I want to bring attention to something. If you listening to the audio only, you ain't going to see this, so you're going to have to click the link in the bio or subscribe to the Patreon so you can see what's going on. But look at how his pops rolled up. His pops, top hat, real dapper, beard just pristine. You know what I'm saying? He got that shit on. He got that shit on now. But pay attention.
Yard workouts is the stuff of legends. You had your son jumping on tires, doing agility drills. What were you trying to put inside of him to help him make it to this moment?
Basically, hard work, fundamentals, dedication to everything, you know. And I mean, once he told me that he loved it and showed me he loved it, I wanted to pump everything in me inside of him so he can reach the highest point.
And now that he's standing here next to you as the number 2 overall pick, what are you thinking, Dad?
Hey, man, praise God. Praise God. He worked hard for it.
And, Ja, you always said that your dad gave up his basketball dreams to help you accomplish yours. So tell your dad.
Now, that's a very vital piece of information. Now, again, if you listening to the audio only, you ain't going to see this. But in the video, if you notice when they training, you see nighttime, you see darkness, you see daytime, you see it all. All they training round the clock. And if you notice something else that was brought out, it said his dad put his dreams on hold so that Ja could chase his. Just keep listening.
Dad, what this means?
It means a lot for both of us. We both know what I've been through. I don't want to get a little emotional up here, man, but I just want to thank him for everything he done for me. He made me who I am today, and I'm just thankful for it all.
Great job, Well. Great job.
All right. So again, great story here. To see them smiling like this, I couldn't imagine having a son who reaches his goal of being drafted into the NBA. You know why? Let me break something down to you. You know what the odds are of making it to the NBA? Look at the screen. Hoop Dreams, in terms of raw numbers, earning your place in the NBA is tough. Very tough. With only 2 players from each college team being drafted to make the step up to the pro league every year. The odds of being promoted to the NBA are prohibitive. 1 out of 3,333. So this stat becomes even more imposing when you consider who's actually eligible for selection. With approximately 500,000 high school boys playing basketball at any given time, only 16,000 of them will go on to make an appearance in any of the 3 college divisions. From there, just 110 will make at least 1 NBA appearance in their career. So the drop-off is extremely sharp. So you caught that? 500,000 high school boys playing ball. Only 16,000 of those 500,000 will make an appearance in any of the 3 college divisions. So that's not even talking Division I college ball. They can make an appearance, which means a lot of them just coming in garbage time. Game in hand, come in, give a foul, or run the clock out, so an appearance. Then you take from that 16,000, 110 have the likelihood of making it into the NBA. So what Ja did was an extreme accomplishment. But people been talking about it in the media. For those who don't know, Ja Morant a couple of months ago, well, I don't even know if it was a couple of months ago. It maybe been a month ago or less. He was on IG flashing a gun at a nightclub in Denver. Allegedly, he was under the influence of alcohol. Said it wasn't his gun. The NBA suspended him for 8 games. He did an interview with Jalen Rose talking about he had went in sought treatment, and then he came back to the NBA after they were eliminated in the playoffs by the Lakers. He said that his off-the-court stuff was a distraction to the team. You know, he got to be better, and, you know, he want to make sure that he's putting himself in the right positions, not bad positions, making better decisions, all of the good stuff that sounds good, all right? So this past weekend, one of his friends went live, and Ja is on his live flashing a gun again. All right? And so people talking about, well, you know, he ain't doing nothing. He just flashing a gun. I completely understand that. Like, if he was Ja who worked at Balo Bagging Groceries and he's on IG live flashing a gun, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But when you're Ja Morant in the NBA with a $200 million contract, with a shoe deal, with a Powerade deal, with you, unbeknownst to yourself, saying when you were selected in the draft that this shows other people what's possible, you took on that role model hat. And so the NBA is like, nah, we not going to promote that, which, you know, that's a whole nother conversation that we could have, because they promote everything else. So they make sure they're blaring hip hop at every available game. So if you want to be ingrained in the culture from that standpoint, then what the hell do you expect, NBA? And why is it a problem, NBA? But we may unpack that at a later date. But what I want to highlight, in a sense, Ja, his family, they hit the lottery. Yeah. They hit the lottery. And so people are saying, oh, yeah, he's stupid. And they want to blame, some people even saying NBA YoungBoy, blaming it on him. Because every time he doing something, NBA YoungBoy is blaring in the background. Or if he in the club, he rapping NBA YoungBoy lyrics. You know, and so people are blaming NBA YoungBoy. Yeah, it's the music. Yeah, it's the culture. Yeah, it's this. But is it really the culture? See, to me, those are people who are just looking for a hot take and looking for something to say and don't really know what the hell they talking about. I look at it from this standpoint. Pressure. Right? Pressure. And I'm not talking about pressure of solely being an NBA athlete. That pressure started before he ever heard his name called at the NBA draft. Think about this. You heard what his dad said in the video? Well, yeah, when he told me he wanted to do that, and that he was serious, yeah, okay, then that's when, and what did they say? His dad put his hoop dreams on hold to make sure he poured everything he could in the jar. And that's the point, and that's the perspective I want to come from today. Because you see so much going on if you looking at the news, even if you ain't looking at the news, if you just around in your area watching. Parents are putting so much pressure on their kids to succeed in sports. Because they know it's limited. It's going to be hard to get them into music. They know I was born in the 80s. When I was coming up, it was, I want my kid to be a model. You know, I want my child a model. And people ain't going to admit this. That's why you had a lot of black women having interracial kids. And that's why you had a lot of white women too having interracial kids. Because they thought these were the beautiful babies. I can get them into modeling. That's a meal ticket. Yeah. They was looking at that as a meal ticket. Then slowly after that became so saturated and it was like, well, nah, that's really not going to happen. I want them to do music. Yeah, they could be the next Biggie. They can be the next Tupac. They can be the next Destiny's Child. And then maybe even branch off and be the next Beyonce. Then that got saturated. Then you start seeing feel-good stories on TV. Remember the movie The Blind Side? If you don't remember that movie, go check it out. Now it's, oh, I could get them into sports. That's it. I'm going to get them into sports. And see, sports was what it was. You play sports, you play hard. If you good, hey, it is what it is. You reach the next level. But I have not seen sports at a level of the emphasis now on little kids. I was in a barbershop one day. Lady came in there begging me almost. She's selling plates to get uniforms for her kids' football team. Now, not just a regular city football team. We had the little city football teams back in the day. The Broncos, the Raiders, the Jets, the Chiefs. No. Now you hearing names like AAU Elite, Pro Championship Elite Squad. So now they don't want just the city sponsored jerseys that the taxpayers can contribute to. No, we got to get them to that next level, that elite level, that AAU level, where we might be traveling around every other weekend. Off the hopes of, well, my kid go get a scholarship. Or my kid go make it to the NBA. And it's sad to say, and this ain't gonna be popular. A lot of parents not looking at their kids no more as kids. It's that lottery ticket. Remember I talked a couple episodes back about the chances of winning the lottery? A lot of them are living vicariously through their children because maybe they didn't get to live out the career that they wanted, so now I'm going to live it through my child. And I don't know Ja Morant's dead. I think just for the simple fact that he was around while he was growing up, I salute him. Because we know that's few and far between in this day and age. So I salute him just off the strength of that. Then to couple with that he was an engaged dad. And his son made it to the NBA. But I do want you to pay attention to something, because this came up. The first time he got caught. Oh, why his dad ain't stepping in? Why his dad ain't doing nothing? Haven't heard his dad speak out with the latest incident. But I watched and I observed. Before any of this stuff came up that happened with Ja, any of the gun allegations, any of the alleged stuff he was doing at the mall, the dude at his house, before any of that came up, I used to watch the games and be like, damn, his daddy kind of act like he a little bit more of the star than Ja. Always on the sideline, and again, he had that shit on. Dapping everybody up, the cameras stay on him, getting comparisons to looking like Usher, doing Usher lookalike contests, all that shit. I'm like, yo, who the star here? Like, I see Ja on the court playing ball, but hey, Pops ain't too far behind him. And then, remember the incident with him and Shannon Sharp? Like, now he about to fight, him and Shannon Sharp, they about to fight at the game. Neither one of them are on the court playing. But they get into an altercation. Older men who should know better and who should be showing an example to the kids or the young men who are players, they out there about to fight for national TV to see. And so I started looking at that like, boy, like, Ja Daddy, like, you know, I get it. You know, you're excited your son made it, but it seemed like he kind of got his own stardom going too. All right? So, looking at that, when this came out and I'm seeing everybody just, Ja's an idiot and, you know, they need to go ahead and suspend him for a year and it's the music culture and everything. I'm like, was it that? Or could it have been he never really got to experience childhood? Because everything he knew about childhood, about his teenage years, involved him. And as I said, watch the video. Nighttime, daytime. They talked about the strenuous workouts he was putting him through. And you could say, well, hey, it paid off. But it paid off with a price. It was a hell of a price. Notice how Ja was when he accepted his being drafted. Nice suit on. And you say, well, he ain't got all the money yet. Nah, them boys be getting them checks. When they know they gonna be an early lottery pick, they front them cash immediately because they know this is a sure thing. They going, let's get them some bread. So they'll be in there with the earrings on, the grill, the big watch. He ain't had none of that on. But now when he ain't playing, if he hurt or something, he on the sideline, grill just iced out. Might have a chain on, watch on, tats everywhere. Dreads, different colors in it. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you don't recognize he's really living now, all the money did was magnify where he really wanted to be. But he didn't have time to be there because all his dad had him doing around the clock. Ball, work out, jump, agility drills, shoot, run, do this, do that. Like around the clock. Traveling with AAU teams. You playing for the high school. the high school season over, now you got to go play AAU. And you got to go be a student so you can go to college. And you got to be a student so you make sure you're eligible to play ball in high school. Think about the pressure put on a kid when you're doing that. And sometimes I don't think parents realize that. And I told you from the outset, I'm going to compare it to my situation coming up. My parents raised all of us to be Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, by the time they got to me, being the youngest, I got away with a lot more shit because I did what I wanted to do for the most part. And a lot of it was because I was being rebellious. Now, Ja's dad said he told him this is what he wanted to do. Okay, I'll take that. I told my dad this ain't what I wanted to do. And he told me as long as you're in this house, this is what you go do. You will be a Jehovah's Witness. Now, my dad was so proud of the fact that he raised all his kids to be Jehovah's Witnesses. He was so proud of that. And undoubtedly, Ja's dad is so proud that he got his son into the NBA. And Ja's sister, she's another basketball phenom that I'm hearing about. Playing a lot of sports. He doing a lot of work with her. Now, all I knew every single day, hey, you done read your Bible today? And again, I'm telling you, we're going to church 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. On the days we ain't at church, we going out knocking on people's doors, talking about it. I couldn't go to any other football games, really. Couldn't go to pep rallies. Couldn't go to any other parties. If I did, I had to sneak and do it. Because my dad wanted me to be like him, my mama, and my other brothers and sisters. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. So a lot of the decisions I made and the trouble I got into was just me being rebellious. Like, shit, this is what I'm going to do. And guess what? When I got older, it was like, boy, I felt like I missed out on so much. So I really went bananas. Yeah. When I got 17, 18, that's when I really turned the knob up. That's when I started getting locked up, going to jail, relationships all fucked up, all kind of shit like that. Selling drugs, just doing stupid ass shit. Because in my mind, couple that with the music that I'm hearing, couple that with the dope boys I'm seeing in the neighborhood and shit like that, it's like, boy, I done missed out. Them niggas got 5-10 years on me. I got to catch up. So think about this kid who all he know is ball. Basketball. Now you throw him $200 million? That's just on an NBA contract. That's not factoring in what Nike done gave him, what Powerade gave him, any other little endorsements he got. Now you give him that money? And he listening to that YB? The fuck you expect them to do? But see, people don't want to talk about that. They want to blame everybody else. It starts in the home. And that's what I'm saying to parents right now. I be seeing so many parents. Boy, I got my kid in this sport. I got my kid doing this. I got my kid doing that. And I just be looking like, hey man, like, okay, you know, I hope that's what your kid really want to do. Because everybody think they kid the next kid. That's go be the next LeBron. Or they kid go be the next big NFL star. And they don't be honest to their kid. Like, your odds of doing this are very small. If you want to participate in sports to learn structure, to learn team, for fitness purposes, to learn discipline. Okay, let's get you in sports for that. But I'm not putting pressure on you that you are a lottery ticket. It's on your shoulders that you got to put the family in a better situation. When in essence, it starts in the home, and it's up to the family, the parents, to already have the family in a good situation. How the hell you go put it on kids to take you out of a situation that you allowed or created? Like, that don't even make sense to me. And as I'm seeing everybody in the media, oh, he's an idiot. Hey, it wasn't the smartest shit he did. By no stretch of the imagination. It was not smart. I don't think he fully understands what could come with that. I see him throwing up Crip if he do a certain shot on the court. And I seen the other day some Crips put up a video. Hey man, that's gonna cost you. You gotta pay for that. See, I don't think he really understands that same ball around the clock that his daddy was doing with him. His daddy now need to come back and say, hey, I got to give that same around the clock. Let me give you these morals and principles. Because, son, you really on a crash course. And this might be what happened. Because now his daddy might see like, oh, shit. He really about to fuck up the lottery ticket. I might not be able to be courtside no more. I might not be able to put that shit on like I've been putting it on. I might not be able to live in that nice mansion that he bought me right next to his. Drive how I'm driving. So now he might step in, but you got to do it before it be too late. And all y'all now, and I'm not saying that it's wrong what you're doing. I'm not telling you how to parent your kid. But really evaluate what you're doing with putting all these pressures on these kids and not allowing them to be kids. Like every free moment they get, you want to have them on a basketball court or a football field or doing drills in the backyard? Think back to why you didn't make it. Think about that. Why you didn't make it if that was one of your goals. Because you're like, man, I don't want to do all that shit all the time. I want to do this and want to do that. What you think the difference is with your kid? Probably ain't what they want to do all the time. So I'm not going to sit up here and blame NBA Youngboy for what Ja did. I'm not going to sit over here and solely put the blame on Ja. And I'm not trying to take a shit on his daddy. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to bring awareness to how we look at things. And sometimes we don't even realize it. Give you an example. Where every time my daughter needed shoes, even if she didn't, new J's coming out, I'm getting her J's. And I'm like, we get ready to go somewhere, she might have a pair of slides on. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You know what she say? I don't like Jordans. Well, what you like? I like Skechers. I like Crocs. I like Vans. See, in my mind, I like Jordans. She got to have Jordans on. I never asked her, what you like? So we got to make sure we're not imposing our thoughts, beliefs, perspectives on kids. Ask them what they like. And then sometimes they be scared to even tell you. She took these Jordans for years, scared to tell me she ain't want it. Because she thought I would get upset. And it may be your kid, they don't want to do all that shit with sports. But man, mama and daddy spending all this money. I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to make them mad. And you'll hear parents say that, well, I done spent all this money, you go do this. But you trying to live through your kid, and that pressure gonna be too much for them if they ever reach the goal that you setting out for them. So before we get out of here, got another video, gotta share. because ain't nobody go talk about this. So I've told y'all how all the time it's, yeah, you know, we want folk to go to jail, and the people act like, oh, jail it ain't that bad, and you know what I'm saying, it's not that big of a deal, and you know, they'll show you the pictures in jail. Oh, we hanging out. I got a cell phone in here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And nobody really just telling you the truth. And they not really paying attention to what's going on. So, as many of you know, Young Thug, I want to say maybe it was 2021, the end of 2021, maybe it was 2022, I don't know. But Rico case. Yeah, I'm a Thug fan. I like Thug's music. I think he's super talented. But I want you to pay attention to this video of what Young Thug is saying about his jail experience.
For you, only Channel 2 is going to give you a look inside the Cobb County Jail, where attorneys for rapper Young Thug say he's being kept in inhumane conditions. He was arrested in a gang conspiracy. So today, the Cobb County Sheriff's Office invited us to see the rapper's jail cell. Channel 2's Michael Seiden stood just feet from Young Thug.
This would be the typical cell for this area. It doesn't have the mattress that would be in there because it's not currently occupied by anyone.
When attorneys for Atlanta rapper Young Thug filed a motion for an emergency hearing for bond describing the Cobb County jail conditions as inhumane and torturous, civil rights organizations like the Southern Christian Leadership Conference didn't waste any time getting a first-hand look inside the facility.
The purpose of today was to let the community know that we're not doing anything that we don't want them to see. We're running an above-board jail, and we want anybody and everybody to know that.
But this is a jail. It is a detention center. It's not the Ritz-Carlton.
So I'm going to pause it right there. Now, again, if you listening to the audio, you ain't seeing the video, but I'm going to put the video clip in there. And you might not have ever went to jail. The first time I went to jail, and I was put in a holding cell, I was like, what the hell? And I'm a germaphobe. That shit still didn't scare me straight at that time. But that shit was disgusting. I'm talking about you got dirt in the corner, like the shit, the little mattress you gotta lay down on. Cause they ain't even got you a bed right now. They got little mattresses on the floor that look like the little mats. If you recall when you was in high school, in PE, the floor mats, if you go do a floor exercise, a gym mat, that's what it looked like with a little, they ain't even give you a sheet. You just got a little blue cover that they would give you, and you laying on that. So I'm sitting here looking like, damn. And you want to talk about cold? Boy, it's cold as a bitch in jail. Because they trying to keep the germs down. So it's cold. That's why it be so cold in the doctor's office. Trying to keep the germs down. So it's cold. You got this little thin blanket on. And unless you got commissary, when they give you a jumpsuit, you're not getting no long sleeve thermal to put on up under that. Nah, your peeps got to get that for you. You ain't getting no long sleeve thermal, none of that. So I immediately understood, okay, this ain't nothing like my crib. And I'm not a millionaire. Let's keep watching the video.
Officials with the Cobb County Sheriff's Office granted us access inside under the condition that we refrain from shooting video of any of the inmates, including Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams. Williams has been in jail since he and 27 other defendants were charged in a sweeping gang indictment in Fulton County.
So right now we are getting exclusive access inside the Cobb County Jail. We've been asked not to show rapper Young Thug, but we're only about 3 cells down from him, and we've come in here after his attorneys.
And listen, if they came in there, they probably got the warning, hey, we coming in, and they may have cleaned it up some. But I could tell you, just looking at this video, this the cleanest jail I ever seen. I'm going to tell you that right now. Cleanest jail I done seen that I've been in.
He's filed that emergency motion. That's because we want to see exactly what the conditions are like here in jail.
Jail officials told us that Williams, who's considered a high-profile inmate, is being kept in his own cell in isolation for his own safety. They also told us he's being fed and given the opportunity to exercise and meet with his attorneys. On Friday, Williams' attorney Brian Steele told Channel 2 that his client is innocent and he's now fighting to get him a bond.
Mr. Williams is held in a cement small area. There's a light on all the time.
Reporting.
I'm going to cut it right there. A cement small area. That's a jail cell, attorney Steele. There's a light on all the time. Yes, attorney Steele. It's inmates in here. We got to see what the hell they got going on. He's lucky he got his own cell. There was never a time I was locked up that I was in my own cell. Never. Jail was so overcrowded when I got locked up in Horry County. For the first 3 days I was locked up, this is no cap. You can verify this shit. It was men and women in the cell together. That's how packed that shit was because they locked so many motherfuckers up at Bike Week. My first 3 days, I had 2 chicks in the cell with me and 4 other niggas. Then when I got moved, before they took Surf to Conway, when I got moved, guess what? Now I'm in a jail cell with a dude who been on PCP out of his mind for a week, and he coming off the PCP. And he ain't getting another high. So how you think this dude acting in this jail cell, yelling all the time, out of his mind, throwing shit at the guards? This the type of shit he on, hallucinating, cold sweats, hot, stuffing his head in the toilet, cause he trying to cool off. This the kind of shit you see. But see, these are the gangsters that the kids will look at like, oh yeah, that's Big Slime. And like I said, I'm a fan of Thug's music. But people don't paint the whole story. Not just this week, 42 Dugg. He locked up. And the kids love 42 Dugg. I hear a lot of adults. But 42 Dugg, love 42 Dugg. I like some of 42 Dugg's music. Rap out of Detroit. He got locked up for a probation violation. He complaining about his jail conditions. Man, I gotta heat my food up with the hot water. And ain't nobody saying, hey man, if you don't like the conditions in jail, guess what you can do not to have to experience them? Keep your ass out of there. That's it. Ain't nobody go tell the kids that. They go keep pumping them 42 Dugg's music, keep pumping them Thug's music, keep showing them the videos of the inmates who got cell phones in jail, who rapping, who acting like they having the best time of their life. I guarantee you, if you go into a jail and say, hey, would you rather come to my house where you got lights, running water, freedom, or you want to stand here because you got the cell phone and you can rap and y'all can make a setup? What the hell you think they go choose? But see, these folks ain't gonna tell you the real shit. That's why you see them crying about they done got used to living in these mansions, used to eating good, drinking good, taking every kind of drug that they want to take, putting their jewelry on, hopping in their nice foreign car. You heard the lady said, this ain't the Ritz-Carlton. Like, I don't understand where they would have thought they were going. If you're in jail, that's what it is. It's like talking about, it's a cement, concrete room. But that shit that they show y'all, This ain't Power. When they were showing Dante in jail, or not Dante, what the fuck was the daddy's name who got killed? Lorenzo. I think that was his name. How he in jail, living posh, fucking when he want to, calling shots. Like, that is not the jail experience for the majority. I ain't even gonna say for most. I'm gonna say for the majority. That's not the jail experience. Young Thug is a millionaire. They don't give a fuck about your money when you come to jail. Man, get in here with the rest of these inmates. We're doing you a favor by putting you in solitary confinement. We're at least giving you your own cell. But when you with all that extra shit, what you want us to make it plush for you? You want to insert a mattress in here? Like, this ain't what this is. So make sure that you telling whether it's your kids, any youth you might mentor, or any youth that you are around, and you see them potentially headed down the wrong path, man, show them these videos. Hell, tell them to talk to me. I tell them I never went to prison, but I done been in quite a few jails. And that shit ain't what you want, man. It's not. And I had to find that out after visiting a few jails. Like, oh shit, when they put them real numbers towards my ass, like, hey, yo, this what you looking at. Why straighten up quick? Like, man, come back to this shit. Cause if jail like this, I can only imagine what prison like. The fuck I want to do that for? That's when I got my shit together. So we got to stop glorifying dumb shit and then not painting a whole picture of what come with that. Yeah, you can be a gangster, but paint them pictures and show them these are millionaires who are in jail. And they complaining about the conditions. How you think you go feel and you just calling home asking somebody to put $20, $30 on your books? How you think you go live, man? We got to do better, man. All right, so it's another episode for you. Hope you got some jewels out of here, some stuff you could take away. That's always my goal. Make sure I give you some knowledge or something you could think about. Also, different perspectives. Just in case you forgot, the full audio drops every Friday, 10 a.m., all major podcast platforms. I'm working on moving over the video to Patreon. Subscribe to my Patreon. It's only $3 a month. I'm going to make sure I have the videos on there, any kind of behind-the-scenes content. I'm going to get back into doing the interviewing, so the interviews will be posted on there. So more to come on that. I will be putting snippets of each episode on YouTube, so you can still hit the YouTube channel and see the snippets. If you got any topics you want me to discuss, icebreakers@gmail.com. If you want a potential interview, icebreakers@gmail.com. I'm putting the brakes on having guests for right now, because I really just want to get back to me, and I got a lot of content and a lot of things that I want to unpack from my perspective, and I just don't really want to have too many people interacting with that at this time. But I still will be reaching out to people for the icebreakers, so if you want to get involved in that, you can hit the IG, I Say Podcast, or at Is The Real Truth. And again, always, you can hit the email, isaypodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, it's true.
Come and sit down, you gotta stand on it. If it's for certain, less of around, you gotta stand on it. Open the curtain, it's going down, you gotta stand on it. Cause I put my stamp on it, so you gotta stand. You gotta stand on it. 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 You gotta stand.